Jurgen, there is a new look to your team, and you can clearly see the understanding growing with every match.
Look, all the big heads of the past, in the last years, were not on the pitch today, if you want. Like the Milners, the Hendersons, the Fabinhos, and not even Virgil van Dijk. So, and you have to let them grow into the new roles. And I saw a lot of top performances, a lot of desire, organization. That was a good performance, yeah, and so that's why we won.
Defensively, maybe we were a little bit weak. Some action, and that was the key in the first half. And 2-0 was very difficult, but we were the second half trying to react, trying to score one goal and try to be in. But when they scored the third goal, it was completely difficult to come back.
Your first goal set the tone 3 minutes in, a special moment for you.
I think if you score your first goal for Liverpool in the Anfield, the goal like this, it's always a special. So yeah, really happy and looking forward to get even more. I'm comfortable, really like the guys, good players, good coach, really good team. So yeah, I'm just enjoying.
Let's start, shall we? I mean, that was a good goal from him, but let's start by looking at Alexander-Arnold, shall we? Because at the end of last season, start of this season, lots of talk about the hybrid role and how he's playing it. You thought today, actually, you saw a tweak in that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the game, he ended up playing as a centre-back. And it's almost like they've tried to find a balance in the team that they can almost protect themselves defensively as well. But today he played as almost like a quarterback. It was brilliant to watch because we know the capability of him, his passing ability. But if you just keep your eye on him at the top of the picture and Joel Matip, they just change positions. Joel Matip goes out as a right-back. Trent Alexander-Arnold wanders into a centre-back position, almost like that quarterback, as I say. But what we've seen often from him in the past is that he would now be in a midfield position advanced. He'd have players in and around him. It'd become very sort of congestive for him. But when he's on the ball, he's calm, he's composed, he waits for the right opportunity. But look at Diaz at the bottom of the picture. He knows Trent's on the ball. Look at that for a pass. Eye of a needle between two players. Just changes the dynamic of the attack straight away. And that's what he's capable of. Again, just probing, making sure that it's not the killer pass straight away, drawing players out of possessions, and then when he gets to that opportunity, bang, straight away, in behind. And that is a great run from Mohamed Salah, but it's also a magnificent pass from him. It was a masterclass in passing from Trent Alexander-Arnold today. That ability to pick passes, forward saying, I can make that run because I know Trent's going to be on the ball and he's capable of it. Keep your eye on this. Pass of the game. Look at that ball, the flight of it, the ability that he's got. And this, so unfortunate not to be finished off with a goal. It deserved a goal. And then when he steps inside, he's got the ability to take players on as well. Now you've got asking the defenders questions. They're backing off because they're worried about that slide ball. Fractions off scoring a screamer.
Is he doing that? Is he doing that just to give himself more space then? Is that why?
Yeah, and I think obviously as well, Aston Villa dropped off. But I think from my point of view, I've looked at it and thought there's always gaps between Joel Matip if he's playing and Van Dijk, or Joe Gomez and Van Dijk, that between the full-back and the centre-back. When he goes in midfield, this makes them more solid and more, well, it doesn't make them susceptible to the counter-attack. It stops that from happening.
There's quite an exciting freshness about them, isn't there?
Yeah, I think Liverpool fans should be really excited. I think that whole kind of like transitional process is kind of getting to the adult phase now. You know, they've brought in a group of players that Jurgen Klopp is obviously going to work with, but it's starting to gel. I think defensively they've still got a few things that they've got to sort out, but from an attacking point of view, you're looking at them and you're going, this is... It's starting to happen, so it's really exciting times, yeah. You know,
Emery talked about the defensive issues that Villa had, and when you talk about defensively, that can mean all areas of the pitch, actually, can't it?
Yeah, it can do, yeah. And I think, though, their game plan defensively today was quite worrying, I thought, Aston Villa's. I think there's a couple of things we'll get onto in a minute, but first and foremost, like mistakes like these and inviting pressure at Anfield is, you know, you're asking for trouble when you start playing like this. You've got to be much more incisive to give away the corner. And Szoboszlai steps onto this 1-0. So you're already up against it. Now, you talk about game plans, right? There's certain things in football that just never change, right? And if you're going to play the high line, you set up 4-4-2. If you're going to play the high line, you have to have pressure on the ball. It's just, that's set in stone in football, because otherwise you have players like Trent who are, you know, he's one of the best passers in the league. You know, him and Kevin De Bruyne, let's be honest, are the two best passers in the league. With this kind of time on the ball, without any pressure that Watkins should be putting on him right now, Luka Dean's just a sitting duck. You know, Salah's just sat there going, I've got all this space to run into and I've got the best passer of the ball in the league. Just land it in there when you're ready, Trent, and I'll get on the end of it. Then on the other side of the coin, when they do press high up the pitch, it's like they're forcing the ball to the best passer of the ball in the pitch. You're supposed to keep get Matip on the ball or someone like that, but it's like, okay, give it to the best, the most talented individual who could whip it down the line if he wants to. On that occasion, Salah didn't make the run. Nunez came short. Szoboszlai pops one over the top. It's all just too easy. And it's too easy because Villa are playing a high line and Liverpool are just picking just when they want to play the ball over the top. And this is how simple it is. I mean, he could not have believed his luck, Trent. He must have just looked there and gone, hang on a minute, you're really going to give me
not coordinated,
this kind of time?
It's just not coordinated.
You have to pressurise him, otherwise he'll dictate a game. And then just to rub a little bit of salt in the wound for Luka Dean's already tough day with the lack of support that he had. You know, he loses his man, and that's the fourth goal, and Unai Emery's got some work to do.
Right,